Hi there, good afternoon, it's Karen, and today we really are going to start work on our little boho journal. I call it boho journal. I don't really know what else to call it. I'm really just going by the colours. I don't know if I'm going to stick strictly to the boho theme. I've got some ephemera that may well fit with that theme and others that don't, so we'll see how this goes. I'm really picking things to go in this journal by these glorious colours that I've got on my cover. So as you can see, I've got a pile of gorgeousness under here, which I'm going to try and put together to make into a signature. Not quite sure how it's all going to go together. I don't suppose I'll be able to use all of it, but I'd like to use. I've got a kit, and I'll add some other things to it and see what works really. And the kit I've got, which I suppose is what led me to this boho theme, is this one. It's by Pink Monarch Prints, and it's called, when I bought it, which is a little while ago, it was called Bohemian Rose, but I think it's now for some reason called Bohemian Dream. I don't know why it's been renamed, or whether I just made a mistake the first time I wrote it down that it was Bohemian Rose and it's actually Bohemian Dream. I don't know, but anyway, that's what it's called now, is Bohemian Dream. But it really just is got lots of flowers and pretty colours over it. It's not really strongly themed one way or another, so I'm going to have to kind of add in my own bits of ephemera and things to bring it together, I suppose. I've just folded this because I did have just double-sided them, printed on the other sides mainly with fairly neutral colours, some from the kit and some from other kits. So this was a coffee-dyed paper from somewhere. But because my printer doesn't prints with borders all around, and double-sided, those borders don't print evenly. So even though I've trimmed it all off on one side, I've then had to further trim it on the other side to get rid of all the white. So when you fold them in half, they're not actually even, so I may have to just trim them down a bit more. So it does mean that it's just a little bit on the small side for my cover. Just to remind you of the cover. So pleased with this cover, I just love it. And here's my inside. So there's plenty of room to expand in this journal, because I've got quite a lot either side in the way of space. So I'm going to have to just go through each of these and trim them up to make sure that they're even when they're folded, and I can show you the papers as we go. So this is from the kit. This is just a fairly plain but brightly coloured orangey paper. So the colours are pretty much turquoise and orange, which I think is a gorgeous combination, and I really like it. So I'm just trying to pick a few things that fit in with this. So this was a little bit more neutral, but it has got those bits of colour in. And then the background on the other side is very much the bright orange with some script on it. So that's all going. That one is going to need a bit of a trim. So if you can see, it's not level here. So I'm going to put this to one side. If they need an extra trim, I'll do those afterwards. So this is, I think, some Roxy Creations dyed paper. And this is what I would consider the Bohemian Rose, where the name came from. So I'm not quite sure why it's now being called Bohemian Dream, but maybe somebody else had something the same name or something. But obviously this is a page of roses. Gorgeous sort of red, orangey coloured roses with the turquoise background. Let's have a look. Is that going to need any more trimming? I think it's okay. And then there's this one. So it's got the spots on one side, and it's got those spots slightly in the background here as well. So as you can see, it's a fairly neutral kit in a lot of ways, apart from having those bright colours. There's not really anything strongly saying it's got a particular theme, which gives you lots of options for adding ephemera and adding decoration, doesn't it? So that's another one. So that one, it must be that way up, because that's got some writing here that's this way up, and I think this you can probably have either way. It looks like this one may have printed upside down because the flowers are now facing the wrong way. So maybe I should stick with it this way round, which I think is how it's meant to be. And maybe it won't notice so much that just some of these things are upside down. By the time I've decorated and added ephemera, it may not be so noticeable that that's upside down. But I think this would notice, so that's why I'm going to stick with it this way, I think. Let's have a look at this one. So here's more little roses, just a mini all cover all over. So there's another rose one, but I think the colours slightly, yeah, there we go. So that's got roses with the turquoisey background, and this is more, just a little bit toned down in the background, and the little roses are smaller. And that's that background. So let's see what we've got when we folded these up. Well, these aren't coming up too bad actually. I thought they'd all need a trim, but they don't appear to. So far I've only got one that's really out of kilter. This one looks okay. Right, so that's those, and I'll just trim this one, and then we'll have a look at some of these other bits and pieces that I've got, and we'll see what we can make of those. Some of them will need hinging together or something like that. I'm just not quite sure how I want to do it at the moment, but I'll just try and. When you're on camera, you just have to make these decisions, don't you? Sometimes, otherwise I could faff about forever. I'm very good at that. I might just trim it off a bit more, just make sure it's level. And now I've got to think, what am I putting in the middle? But that may still come with some of the other papers. So one thing I picked out, let's just get rid of those bits. This is some watercolour paper, so it's really quite thick and a bit stiff. But I thought maybe I could just do some decorating with it, because I've got here, and I did play around with these. I've actually got a whole sheet that I made a bit of a background with, which I haven't used yet, with these distress crayons, and it has got the two colours. It's got the orange and the turquoise. And maybe I could just do something, make a kind of background of my own on perhaps two sides of this. And then on the other two sides I've got this tissue paper, or napkin should I say, and that's got all these gorgeous colours in as well. I think that goes very well. Look at that with the cover. I think that would make, it would make lovely ephemera too. So I have only got the one, so it may be that I'd be better off using this to decorate some ephemera, just to make some different things, rather than just using it on a background page. So I don't yet know if I'm going to need that one. I thought at one time I might need an extra one, but I found a few more bits, and I think I might be okay. So maybe we'll use that to make some tags and pockets or something instead, but still using the napkin and the distress crayons. So these two pieces I've got. This is a piece. I think it might have been had some fabric attached to it. I think it did. So like a sample fabric. I don't even know. I think the fabric's probably in my stash somewhere. But I kept the card as well that it was attached to. And it actually is called Bohemia Adriatic, which I hadn't even realised. I just thought all the colours might go. And then I've got this piece of Florentine paper, which is a similar sort of size. So I did wonder about maybe hinging these together in some way. Don't know. Obviously I've got to do a bit of repair here on this bit, but it's got an obvious hinge here. Maybe if I put it that way, I've got a hinged page there. I think I would trim some of this down, because although I've got the white here which I can't get rid of, but I can cover some of this stuff. I can cover it with some other bits. I would probably trim these bits off though. So anyway, that might work as a page, so I'm going to put that there. Then I had a look in my book page, my big encyclopedia that I've got, and it does have loads of these beautiful book plates, and sometimes they're coloured and sometimes they're in black and white. And I was just looking for something with the colours, so I thought this might work. Again, with the, you know, just somehow the theme of it, the tone of it seemed fitting. And I've got this one, I'm not sure about this one, with the ladies, the 3 ladies. They look like they've been dressed up or on the stage or something. And I know the colours don't work, but somehow the whole idea of Bohemia, or I don't know if they work. I'm not sure, but I picked them out anyway. So I'm kind of wondering about one of those or both those together. I'm not sure about this one. I think I might be able to use this one somehow. So that's those. Then I've just got some fairly straightforward coloured paper. So this was avocado dyed, but it went quite deep, went a much darker colour. So it's quite pale on one side, but it's a really quite a dark, almost an orange on the other side. So I thought, well, that would work. And it, I've got the imprint of a doily on it as well, which works quite well. So I think that would look quite nice. Piece of ordinary coffee dyed paper. And fold over, and then a couple of pieces of the food dyed paper in the turquoisey colour. So yeah, I thought those 2 would work. And then so I've got this as well. This is a piece of scrapbooking paper, and I just thought it's so pretty. It's not so thick as some of them, as it's single-sided, so I'd have to do something about the other side, maybe do some stenciling or something on here. But I just thought it might go quite nicely with the rest of the bits and pieces. I think, you know, if you look at it with this, there are bits of this kind of yellowy, orangey, these colours. They kind of go, I think, quite well with this. So I thought, well, I could just cut that down to size and make a page out of that. So I think we'll do that. In fact, perhaps I'll do that now, so I've got it ready to go, because it just needs trimming down really. I think I might just see where I want it to go to. I don't want to make it too big, you know, I don't want to make it a lot bigger than the other pages, as they are a bit smaller, but I think I'll just mark it just to fit within the oh, that's no good, is it? I've got one that's not, I think I used that for the rubber rather than for the pencil, so I might just, I've got a pencil here somewhere, there we go. This one has been sharpened. So I thought I might just trim that to just within the boundaries of the fabric on the inside. I can always trim it down a bit more if it just seems too big. So I think I'll just trim that. Maybe come in a little bit from my pencil mark there. Okay, I think I might do that. And then just fold that in half. It's just such beautiful paper. I've had it for a long time, but it's really nice to be able to use it, because quite a lot of scrapbook paper is double-sided and quite a lot thicker, but I thought this actually makes quite a nice page for the journal. I think I might need to trim it down just a touch. I might even make this the outer cover, or the first page. I don't think I've done a terrific job in folding that. Right, I'm just going to just trim a little bit off, so it's not sticking out too much. Okay. And again, when I've put it all together, I might need to trim it a bit more. I mean, it could even be the inside. It's a thought, actually. I could turn it the other way and make it the inside, so I don't know, make it the middle's what I mean, the middle, and have it have it like that in the middle. That's a possibility. But at the moment I'll leave it like that. I can always turn it the other way, depending what else I end up with. Right, so now I've got this kit. Now, this is a kit I originally bought when I made Rhonda's journal. And it's called, it's the, what's his name? The Mucha ladies, the guy who did all the Art Nouveau posters with the ladies in the 1920s, I think. I don't know much about him, but he was an artist and he did all these beautiful images of these ladies. They're quite well-known images, very well-known, and they're absolutely beautiful. And I thought, I mean, I know they're not strictly bohemian or of that type, but I just thought they were really gorgeous images, and I did wonder if maybe I could make a page out of one of these larger posters. So I've got 3 of those in large, and then I've got lots of these smaller ones. I've printed them smaller, a lot of them. Made them smaller myself, and I've got loads left over from before. So they'll make some nice embellishments for tags and journal cards and things as well. So I wanted to use those mainly because of the colours and because I love the images. I just think some of these images, they're just so beautiful. So I want to use those, and I did wonder if maybe just one of these might work as a page. So sometimes this one is wider than this one, so if I fold it in half, it might not quite work. And it's the same with this one, really. This one's much wider than this one, so that could be a bit of an issue. These 2 may work because they are pretty evenly sized. If I fold them in, if I fold that down the middle, or I fold it between the 2, now I can trim it perhaps. The size, let's have a look. You've got that on that side, and then I can trim off all the white bits that I don't need. So that might work. I mean, I would really like to use this one because I love the colours. This one in particular I think is really gorgeous. So, but it's just, I think it's just too wide. If you take one of my pages, and this is the widest one I think I'll go, maybe I could even stick one of those. I could use one of these images on the inside here, possibly. Maybe make it a pocket as a thought. So I might do that. Could do that with this one. Maybe even use 2 images. That would pretty much cover up the white background on that. So that's a possibility there. I'm just thinking as I go, really, trying to think on my feet. This is another one I really love. So maybe that's the way to go. Use these larger images as page-sized pockets or something like that. So maybe I'll put that with that scrapbook paper as well as a possibility. So, and then these are my smaller pieces to use as embellishments. And the other kit I have picked up, which again to be used for embellishments. Well, I've got 2 kits here actually, and these were. This is Bohemian Days by Mrs. Cog. And I wouldn't use all of these, but I think this is a beautiful, beautiful picture. I've seen her on more than one kit, I think. So she's got these, that one is the larger one. And then she's got these. I think there was one page I didn't print because I didn't think the images worked for me. But some of these are really beautiful for smaller journal cards or pockets or things, so I can use those. They're rather lovely. And this is from a different kit. This is by Adamo Prints. And again, these images are, some of them, these are really beautiful. It's just a shame they're in black and white, really, to me, because I think the colours would be fabulous with the rest of the journal. So I don't know if I use many of these, mainly because they're black and white rather than coloured. But there's that lady again. She's popped up in another kit with all these beautiful faces. And this one here. So she's actually got a bit of colour, but the rest are all in black and white. So I will try and use them because I think they're really beautiful. So that's those. So this is the stuff. This isn't to do with the signature. These I just thought I'd show you the kits that I'm going to try and use. So now I have to try and decide about what. I'll just quickly show you the bits that come with the Bohemian Rose or Bohemian Dream kit. So there's some labelly shapes. These ones here, really pretty one there. And I've got some. I'll take this away, otherwise it might just create some glare. I've got those. Then I have a selection of pockets, which are obviously neutral enough just to need lots of decoration. Always another one of those. Some have got the colours on. That's a really pretty one. So that's a little selection of pockets that I get with it. And then we've got, try and get these to one side. Then there's a whole load of tags. So these are all cut up, ready to be backed, but I haven't backed them yet. I thought I'd show them to you, then I'll go off and back them off camera. So that's a really beautiful tag. These are a couple of large ones. And then there's a few medium-sized ones, some with a bit of lace showing on there. There's one I have actually cut round with a beautiful flower on it. And then what else we got? Then the slightly smaller ones again. And that's that one. And then I've got a few really little ones. This one. I mean, you could just make these out of anything really. So I've just got these as well. So as you see, I've got a few pockets, a few tags, no journal cards as part of the kit. So it gives me lots of scope to make things, which is what I like. I do like to make my own bits and pieces, so that will be fun. This journal will probably take a while because I'm not going to work on it all the time. Otherwise I might just get fed up. I like to have lots of things on the go, or at least 2 or 3 different things on the go, so I can mix and match, and it doesn't get too boring for you to watch as well, me doing the same thing over and over. And I have already got another journal that I'm thinking about and trying to put together, some of the papers and things, so that I can talk that, perhaps we start that in a week or so, and I'll show you that. And also periodically I want to work on Liss's journal, which I haven't done on camera for probably ages. I mean, I think I've only done it once on camera over the last couple of years, and I haven't done very much myself, but I do want to progress with that a little bit, so periodically I'll pop in and do a bit of work on that. So that's another little project that might just pop up here and there in between. So right, now you've had a look at everything. Now I've just got to actually make some decisions about what I'm going to use and how I'm going to use it. So I think we're almost there with this one. I think I'm just going to trim off all the white, and that will be a page, and then I'll have to just decide, because obviously I've just printed these, so it's completely really bright white on the other side, so I've got to think how I'm going to cover those up. And there's her. So that's that page. Let's see how many pages I've actually got. I think that's the place to start, and then get rid of these bits. Okay, so that's one. This is going to be another one, and I think we'll do some work on that. 2. Right, so 3. Not sure about these. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, going quite well. So this will be 13. slightly off camera there. I think because it's got such a lot of colour on it, it's made it a little bit stiff to fold. So that's that one. So that's 13. And we'll do this one. 14. That may well be enough. A lot of people do put a lot more in there. I think as far as full pages go, that might be enough. But then we might be able to just squeeze in a few other little bits and pieces. So I did go into my little box of envelopes, and I found some turquoise envelopes and some orange envelopes. And one of these I thought I could possibly do something with. I'm not quite sure at the moment how I could do that. Could I somehow incorporate that? Oops. Make that a page. Because I think it's almost the same size as the actual image. So that would be on one side of the signature. This would be on the other side. Let's trim that down. So that would go quite well there, wouldn't it? You know, I just kind of wonder if I could do something with this as well. Don't know. So that would be sewn in there. That'd be on one side of the signature. I'd have to colour that in somehow. And then this might be some sort of flip out on there. I might do that. And then I will just need to cover this with something, probably a piece of paper from the kit or something else. So I've got all these images that I can use. Some of these. So let's do something with this and see what we've got left over. So that's possibly, so that's going to be maybe a page as well. Okay, that's that. And then I might use that. I might try and make some sort of pockets with envelopes. Part of the ephemera making. I have so many. I keep keeping them and then I don't do anything with them. So I've got these two. So I'm going to cut them down and see how they fit. It's been so long since I've put together a signature for a journal. I mean, probably certainly not this year before up till now. So. It's been I just feel like I'm not sure quite what I'm doing. Don't know if you can tell, but I'm really kind of floundering a bit, trying to work out how this should all go together. But I think it'll be all right. I think it's just because the papers in the kit don't have a strong identity, particularly. So I've kind of got to give the journal an identity with the other things that I'm using. And I think something like this will be just what I need. You know, is what I'm looking for. I think that's just so beautiful. And then so I've got these two ladies, both of which are lovely. So I might cut both of these down and maybe use one of them somewhere else, or the blue one. I mean, I like them all really. So my theory is, I think that needs a bit further cutting, but I'll come do that. Is if I can use these images to make a nice pocket here. So all I really need to do is perhaps put some papers around it, collage it in a bit so it doesn't look too starkly white around there. And then on the other side, I think it would need to be, I think this one might be a bit on the big side. Yeah, it's a little bit big. Maybe this one. Yeah. So it's a little bit taller, but it's got a bigger gap on this side. So I'm just wondering what would be nice to put behind it just to bring the colours in. I suppose I could, I suppose I could use some of this, but actually I think it needs to have a bit more of a contrast than that. The obvious thing would be some book page, maybe some music paper rather than book page would go quite nicely, just because that might work quite well. Wonder whether I'd be better off putting the pocket down here, or unless I make it a top loading pocket up there, have it right up to the edge here, like that, and then just have something at the top here and have it as a top loading pocket, and this can be a side loading pocket. That might work, mightn't it? Right, I'm thinking washi tape down the middle. Right, here's my box of so-called warm coloured washies now. Right, so see if any of these would work down the middle here. Haven't really got anything that really speaks to me. This one maybe. It's quite nice. Colours on that one work quite well. Have some gold. That might be quite nice too. Maybe a combination of both. Anything else? Not really. Nothing really stands out. They're not fabulous, my washies. I've got loads of them, but I don't love many of them. Unfortunately, I have got this one. There's not much left on this one that I've used the most. This one and this one are kind of my two favourites. I'm just wondering which colours go best. I think this one goes quite well. So I might just use a bit of that. Let's put these back down here. And I might just whether to put it down the middle. It's kind of reinforcement, and then and then gold on the either side. Don't know. It's not quite as wide as it could do with being. I think the danger of having this right up against the edge, because there is a possibility I might have to trim this down a bit more. So I might just bring it in a touch and then ink that side. So if I need to trim it a bit, it won't be a problem. I'll do the same with this one. Leave myself a little bit of leeway in case we need to trim the page down a little further. I'm going to have to glue inside the the join. I think it's thick enough paper. It doesn't need reinforcing. It's not like old book page or anything. Just try and get it as near to the middle as I can without going over the middle. Okay, and trim that a bit. Who knew that making the signature would be so complicated? But there's not that many pages in the kit, so and I think so. I'll put that there. I'll have to put it in a little bit further. Just ink up the side there. Now I have got some. I think I've got some ink that would go. I've got this one, which is Carved Pumpkin, which is a very bright orange, but then I've got the Dried Marigold, which I think is a much better match for this page, so I think I might use a bit of that. So I'm just going to go around just along the edge of this, just to take off the white. Need something across there. I have some music. Look. I don't really want music that's got words with it. It's always easier to avoid. And then I can put a little thumb notch up here. Want to do a little bit of this around the edge of that pocket. Just kind of knock back the white a little bit on this. Just a tiny touch. I don't want to make it, I don't want to colour it too much, but it is very white, that background. I'd like to just knock it back a little touch. White bits. I'm not going to worry too much. Just around the edges. Right. So it's more or less like that. I think I'll glue this on afterwards, off camera, just getting it prepared. Let's see about the other one. So this one does need a bit more trimming. it's the thumb notch here on the side. More or less in the middle, I think. I think we need to do the same around this one, the bits that are going to be seen. A bit of orange around there. Let's see if that's going to be okay. So that just about gives you the... Oh, I need something down here, don't I? Washi tape's not really going to do it. Don't know about more music page, really. What can I use? Paper from the kit, maybe. Did print off the kit twice, because the first time I ended up with much wider borders. I didn't get it anywhere, it wasn't nowhere near big enough pieces, so I had to go again. So I've got a variety of bits and pieces I'll be making. I've made one masterboard, I need to make another one, which I may well do on camera. Just got to find a piece of paper big enough to go down that's long enough. What about this bit of paper here with the roses? Yes, I think that might actually look quite nice. Let's see, that's one possibility. Don't think I want to go full on orange down the side there, do I? This might be just too much. Got this little piece of little scripty piece. That might work. I think I like the roses. Doesn't need to be an awful lot. Just got to tuck behind the picture. I'll do it. Go there, right up, well, it needs to go up to the join, doesn't it, so not up to the washi tape because that's on a different page, it needs to go right there. Okay, I think that'll be okay. Down a little bit. Right, so I'm going to glue those on off camera, and that'll be that page completed. Right, hello, I'm back. It's been actually a couple of days since I did the last little bit because my battery died and it was getting late in the day, so I just decided that I would do little bit of finishing off of this part of the signature off camera, and do a couple of other little bits, and then come on and finish, because I knew the video was going to get a bit long. So I just thought I'd show you what I did off camera. I changed my mind about both of these backing pieces in the end. I put a little bit of the Florentine paper behind there instead of the music paper, because I liked that better. I thought it went better with the background, and I just love that that colour, and I just thought it all went with the colours better. And then I did a more neutrally piece down here as well, so I changed both of these pieces off camera. I tend to do that. I think about, do something on camera and then I rethink it afterwards. So that's all finished now, it's all glued in. I've got my pocket up here and my pocket here, and I think that looks really nice, and I'm really pleased with that. And I think that's going to be my outer page of the signature, so everything else is going to have to fit inside this. The other one I did do some work on off camera as well, because I wasn't sure what I was going to do, so it took me a while to work out, quite a while to work out, and I thought it was a video all by itself really. So I had this piece of card that had been part of a sample with some fabric on it, and I had to cut it right down to fit in, because it was really quite wide, and I made it a lot smaller. And I've attached it to this piece of Florentine paper, which is really beautiful, and I thought went with all the colours as well. And I've hinged it together with this, I think this is some straw paper. I just had a strip of this in my scraps. So I've hinged those together. But because this was quite a bit torn, there was a hole here, and it didn't look too good on the outside. I think there was some writing as well on the outside where the flap was. So I took this piece of paper from the kit, and I've just back to that, put that around the join as well, so that reinforces it but also covers up all the unsightly bits. And the Florentine paper, I didn't want to cut off the bit that was too long, so I made it into a little tuck spot here. So I think that just is going to need gluing down either side, which I will do when I haven't done yet, but I will do. So that's going to be the back of that page. And then I'll just tuck something in, like a journal card or something in there. That should look quite nice. So that was that one. That was all I did. I did do a little bit more preparation as well on this little piece. So I've got this piece from a book. It's from my old encyclopedias, which I liked because I thought the colours and just the general feel of it went well with the rest of the rest of the papers. So I had these two envelopes, got the orange one and the turquoise one, and all I've done, because that's going to show, I've just lined the join there, and it reinforces it a bit, and the join on this side. I haven't actually folded this because I only just did it a few moments ago, but I want to fold that one as well, so that's, and when you tuck them in, so this one is going to go in like that. And this one is then going to be part of that's going to be sewn in there. So that'll actually be part of the other side of the signature. And so I will do a bit of decoration on here. So I haven't actually glued those in yet, because I wasn't quite sure how it would fit. Because I think this might be a bit wide now. So I'm going to just measure that, and I may have to cut that down. I think I will. So it needs to go inside of this paper. So I've got a little bit to trim off. So I think I'll trim it off both sides, just to make sure it fits inside that page. It takes, because that page pretty much takes up the whole of the space in the cover. So I don't really want too much poking out. So I can get rid of most of that. I don't know if that's as straight as it should be. There we go. Maybe a little bit off this side as well. Not as much, because I don't want to lose the curtain. Let's see if that's a better size. I've just got to make sure it fits inside this. Yes, there's a bit of leeway there. Get rid of that. So I think that should be okay. I'm just wondering, let's see about the length. So the length is about perfect without having to cut down the envelopes. So I think I'm going to glue these in. No, not like that. No. Glue that there. And I'm going to glue that one on here, like that. And then on the back, where the two joins will show, I'm going to put this piece, because I think that works really well. And I think, let's see, does it fit? Yes, it does. Whoa, excellent. It just fits nicely inside there. I did trim this a bit because I thought it was going to be a bit wide, and I think it's about right on the side. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to glue all those in place, and then we'll put the signature together. Right, so that's all glued into place. I haven't made it a pocket or anything. I just thought it was lovely just the way it is as a decorative page. And I'm going to, obviously I shall decorate the envelopes, and we'll make things to put things in the envelopes. But I think these pages will probably just leave as they are. Maybe there'll be some release, who knows? But that's probably all there will be on those. Right, so they're done. That's done, should I say? Now let's put together some of these papers. See how it all goes together. I hope it's not going to be too much. Get rid of that. I have got all my signature here now. So I think we've got these these slightly different pages. So, and I've got these are the sort of standard pages. So this goes in here like that. Now I want to see what I want to put in here. Maybe that goes quite nicely in there. And that one maybe. Got to think of a middle page, haven't I? Well, I suppose this could be the middle page. Could it? No, because it's not in the middle. I need to do something about this. I'll do that in the next video. I'll have to think about what I want to do with this. It may be that this will be in the middle. I've got to think about what I want to do to make this more attractive. So I'll think about that, but it'll go in somewhere. Not sure about the middle. And then whether I should put this in the middle. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Okay. I'm just trying to decide. Maybe this one will be a good one to put in the middle, because it's quite a decorative one. It's the most decorative of the ones in the kit, I think. So maybe I should just fold it that way and put that in the middle, I think. Right, so I'll put that there. And then I think this one here will go quite well. And let's see, that'll go nicely in there. Possibly, not sure about that one. I seem to have got a lot of turquoise. I haven't got a problem with that. I just wanted a bit of a mixture of the two colours, really. I think I can do something with that to cheer it up. And then I've got that one there. Yeah, I've got to do something about this, because the this printed the other side of. I did the double page, and I think I've shown you that I've got this. I don't know if I did this on camera, where I had to decide which way around to do this one, because this is now upside down, but I thought that would be less obvious than these upside down flowers here. So that's going to need to be covered up in some way. Out there. I think maybe that one would go quite well there. And then I will do something with this. That one. This may need trimming a bit because it's a bit tall, I think, this one. very orange ones close together, aren't they? What about this one? Yeah, that's better. And then I'll put that there. Yeah. Or should I put this one in here? And then that one, and then this one. And I think maybe this one. Ooh, no, they don't go well together, do they? No. Okay, let's take this one out. Put this one in, because that goes like that. Right. Put that in somewhere else. And then this one. And then the middle one. Okay. Let's just fold that in for a second. That's it, like that. Okay, so let's find a home for this one. I wonder if that will go in there instead. I quite like that colour together. Is that going to be too horrible together? It's a bit much, isn't it, maybe? Let's see. That one. That's a bit too much, isn't it? Okay. I'm going to put this one somewhere else. No, I think I'm going to swap that out. Put this one in here, back where it was. And then put this one, I think, in here. Oops, that goes there, that goes there. That one there. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. That one there. Do something there. Okay, so I think that will be okay, like that. Let's see how it all looks together. There may be some trimming to be done. How are we looking? Yes, I might just do some trimming of some of these papers. See how it all fits in my cover. Oh well, it goes in quite well still. It's not. There's plenty of room in there. Make sure they're all right at the base. Okay, so the signature's all ready to go. I will do a bit of trimming along some of these ones that are sticking out a bit too much. And I might trim some of these that are a bit too tall as well, just to make it all fit together nicely, because there is a little bit sticking out there. And then in the next video I might just finish off some of the bits that need something on them, so there might be some stenciling or something, I'm not quite sure what, but I've got to think about that. And then I think I'm also going to do possibly work on a masterboard in the next video as well. So please do join me again for that one. Thank you again very much for joining me today. I know it's taken a bit of a while to get through all this, but it's been a while since I've done it, so it's taken me lots of thinking about trying to make some of these pages. So I hope it hasn't been too long for you. I will obviously edit and cut out all the bits that look like they're a bit tedious. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.